Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today and welcome you to my reading for Taurus. So, tomorrow we're going to be embraced by that amazing Taurian energy. We're going to have Taurus rise high, and well, we can use that to our advantage. That very stable, earthy energy with that Taurian gotta go energy, we're going to get some stuff done this month. Not to say we didn't get stuff done last time, but this is Taurus. We have that stability and we can use it to our advantage. So I couldn't wait to do this again. I couldn't wait to go live. I couldn't wait to get into this Taurian energy. 1 year ago, well, not today, but 1 year ago, I started doing the Zodiac readings. So I started off with Taurus, and here we are again, back at Taurus. I love these readings because we can use this energy to our advantage. Just like anything else, it is there for us to embrace, should we choose. Another thing I couldn't wait to do, use this deck. This is new to me. This is the Northern Animal Tarot. I absolutely love it. I've done a few readings with it. Not only do I enjoy its very gentle directness, the cards themselves are just fantastic to use. Now, I did talk to Lynn, who is the creator of this deck, and she said that she had a few of these left from her Kickstarter campaign. She is looking at making another round or another series of them. In Kickstarter, they will only allow so many people or so many decks that they'll produce. So if you are interested in this deck, I would really connect with her soon because she said she doesn't have very many left on that first run. However, she will be doing another. So fantastic. Then I'm going to be pairing it with the Enchanted Map Oracle. I do have lists below to both these decks, so should they speak to you, please go check them out. I don't know about you. I don't collect shoes. I collect decks. So, like always, what I'm going to do is complete a reading for my friends, a general group reading, and then I'll do a second group reading for anybody who is live with me. So if you have questions, you can leave it in the chat beside, but I will be getting to that live group as we go. I will do my best to answer any questions that as I'm doing this reading. However, I will be looking a lot at the cards. All right, let's get into this Taurian energy. What can my friends expect from the time of Taurus? I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but are the ducks getting bigger? Like they seem to be getting like harder to cope with. They're very much taking on the size of an oracle card. And many oracle decks I find are very hard to shuffle because of how wide they are. But I do enjoy, do I enjoy the pictures. The King of Cups. What a beautiful card. Even though Taurus is very much an earthy energy, we're going to be able to start to take control of some of that emotional turbulence. We all have it. That stability. Now, usually you see this king on a little pedestal all around this kind of choppy, chaotic water. He has that control. Kings do. They're the fullest developed personality. They have the most control, the most power. The King of Cups, he owns his emotions and his intuition. He does not let anything stand in his way. He has that energy of a bull, or if you will, an adult deer, that's going to support us. Like I said, we have this Taurian energy. We have that bull. We need to take it by its horns and allow it to guide us a bit. Remember, we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the the guidance. We don't know where it is we're going. So allowing Taurus and the high vibrational energies to guide us will be very helpful, because let's be honest, we're in the thick of things. There's so much we don't understand. So Taurus is going to provide that stability, and it's going to encourage you to take control of the one thing you can control, and that's you, your emotions, your reactions, and your choices. Big pieces. I know we've got a bull and they're quite big, but very important aspects so that we can keep moving forward. We can make decisions for our greater good. All right. What other insight, information, and guidance can we share with my friends so that they can embrace this amazing guidance and insight of Taurus? Like I said, I do love this deck. I love the feel of it. It's kind of got a linen feel. Ooh, the Hierophant. You can kind of see it there. It's got a bit of a texture. It's fantastic. The Hierophant, the fifth card in the Major Arcana. And of course, we're looking at that gatekeeper, the keeper of keys. Hi, Lucian. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So we have that keeper of keys embracing us and supporting us. The more control we have for reactions and our decisions, well, the more opportunities we're going to have. When we're staying in that high vibration, we are able to make decisions for our greater good. We're not just reacting. That reaction, of course, is a low vibration and it's ego-based. We miss out on so many opportunities. It's really important that we take that deep breath, use that foundation we have within us, that stable, that foundational energy that's all around us with Taurus to our advantage. Now, if you are the type of person, because I know it's me sometimes, I still get kind of toppled and I don't feel grounded. Well, join the club. Many of us struggle with that grounding. Our true self, our soul self, is looking for that high vibration. And it causes us to feel kind of wobbly because we have this pull of our human self against that spiritual self, and we want to go higher. So it's not uncommon to see many of us with that instability. So grounding is going to be essential. I do have grounding meditations on my Just You and Me playlist. I have them on my angel healing meditation list. You can go in and pick which one really resonates with you. That pausing, taking time for self so you can ground and center you will help you be able to calm that inner sea, calm and kind of push down your ego so that you can make decisions for your highest and greatest good. Without that grounding, we're too reactive. Now, to kick up that grounding a little bit, there's a few things you can do. One, crystals. They are fantastic. There is more and more crystal jewelry that you can use. There are small little pieces that you can take with you wherever you go. They can go in a pocket. Women can tuck them in their bra. Please make sure that you use the polished ones. You don't want the ones that are all kind of raw and jaggedy. That can hurt. So make sure you use the polished ones, but they can help maintain that grounded energy and vibration with you. Additionally, anything that's going to connect in with your root chakra. So the crystals that you want are ones that are red or black. So that's the same vibrational color hue as your root chakra, which is at the tip of your pelvis at the bottom. And also kind of that earthy scent. So if you are really big into like flower essence or essential oils, things that are earthy really work well. One that I know most of us have, you don't have to go and buy extra things, is something like as simple as cinnamon. Having a little bowl of cinnamon with you or around you can help with that earthiness all around. Sure, you can use, your essential oil diffusers. You can use incense, but you don't have to go out and buy anything extra special. Most of us have cinnamon in our cupboards. So we can use that to our advantage, helping with that groundedness, helping to maintain that. Because when we do, oh yeah, the Ace of Wands. Wands, of course, we have that passion-based, that very inner fire. The more stable we are, the more we're fanning our own flames of passion, invigoration, and excitement. The wands are very much connected to our solar plexus chakra, which is our third chakra. And that's that passion, that invigoration, that drive and willpower. The more grounded we're going to feel, the more connected we're going to be, because our head isn't all sorts of swimmy, the more we're going to be able to push ourselves forward. And that's what Taurus really wants, to push us forward. Let's be honest. Taurus isn't the type of stagnant, stuck energy. It's a let's go. And here's your go. Those aha moments, that inspiration will flow, especially as you have the Hierophant. You have that keeper of keys. Well, those opportunities are there for you. Okay, so I left the introduction card in. It happens. Don't do that. Let's go to the next one. Aha! The Magician. The first card in the Major Arcana. Up against the Hierophant, of course, we're looking at using our natural abilities, the things that are close at hand, that are right here, all around you. For example, like I said earlier, that cinnamon. Immense strength, but can be very lazy, the bull. This is true. You're right. Unless that bull is very much zapped in the butt. Just like anything else, you need that kind of inspiration, that connection. We are the ones in control of where we're going. And I say that loosely. We don't want to drive it, but we're in the ones who can embrace our here and now, and that we can be an active participant rather than this lazy bystander who just kind of watches crap go by. You miss out. The Magician is telling you that you have that ability. You always have. We just haven't been calm enough, grounded enough, and open to that connection. We need to use those everyday aspects to really nurture us and go forward. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, guys. And that's something that is really important to remember. It's really easy to think, oh, I'll have to, try and create everything from scratch. No, this does not have to cost a lot of money. This does not have to take a lot of time. This is about setting those intentions and being in the present. Calming self so that you can be open to these amazing opportunities. They're there for you. They've always have been. It's just we're not always so connected in and so open to receiving those messages. The Three of Pentacles. I love this card. I call this card the Triforce Perfecta. And I do that because with the Three of Pentacles, you're looking at that cooperation. The cooperation of working with self, so being in the present, working with your physical support team, and then, of course, that high vibrational support team. No matter what your support team looks like, and no matter what our connection is with that support team, being open to that inspiration, that aha, that guidance we need. We were never meant to do this journey alone. Actually, when we signed up for this, as crazy as it is, we agreed to most of this. And we agreed that we would have certain beings support us on this journey. So our guides, our guardian angels, our, if you're working with the dragons, the unicorns, the fairies, you name it, they literally listed themselves. It's kind of like in the contract, part 1, supports. And here's your list. They are there. They also knew that we would forget them. Many of us, especially if we are above the age of 13, can't remember. We disconnected. They knew we were going to do this. Children and some adolescents now are being more supported in nurturing their gifts, whereas my generation, the Generation X, I can't even remember what we're all called, Generation Y, Generation whatever. We were terrified. We're seeing and hearing things not everyone can see. We're getting insight and aha that no one else is getting. And sometimes we are right. And that's even crazier. That stigma is going. We now have that hard work of reconnecting in. Like anything else, the more you do, the more you're able to do it. It's a skill. Similar to that of riding a bike. We didn't know how to do it right away. Many of us had learned in past lifetimes. But as we got going, we had that energetical connection, that understanding. And that's what's going to happen. The more we use it, the more we connect in with this intuition, your clairs, the more it's going to be stronger. Societal and familial cultural influences. Absolutely. Many of us shut down to fear of how family, society were going to respond. We were either threatened to be medicated, put in a padded room. Oh, yeah. And many of us just shut down because it was just too much. But now there's more of an understanding. Many of us are awakening to what we can naturally do. That natural acceptance of our many, many amazing gifts. So part of why Taurus has picked these cards is that we are looking at that acceptance of self. It's kind of a very focused energy, if you will. We have the Ace of Wands and we have the Magician. The angels are concurring. They're saying that it's time to believe in ourselves, believe in our abilities. That's what happens when you have that multiple 1. When you see on the clock that, 111, 111, 1111, although 1111 can be considered multiple 11s. You see it in print. You see it on car license plates. That multiple 1, believing in self and abilities. It's part of what is really going to help us to grow, to, move ourselves forward. These opportunities require that belief We may not understand it. We may not be able to fully pull off everything that we had hoped. We know that our clairs are there. We know we have this ability. It's just connecting in with it a little bit more often and trusting in our abilities. Ruled by Venus, masculine, feminine associations. Yep. And earlier last week, I think it was on Wednesday, I actually brought out a meditation where we're looking at balancing out that feminine, masculine energies. We need both of them, no matter what gender we identify with. That yin and yang energy is within us. That balance is very, very much needed. Goes back down to that grounded, centered energy. The more grounded we are, well, like anything else, we feel stronger and more able to take on any challenges that we're going to face. And that's part of what Taurus really wants us to do. Start to face those challenges. Start to embrace us. Know that we have all that we need for this journey. We just need to trust in it a little bit more. Use it to our advantage. Let's go into some blessings. See what else we can add here. What blessings can my friends embrace during the time of Taurus? It's hard to believe that we're already in the Taurian energy. It's hard to believe that we're in April, actually. Into the unknown. It's very much where we're going. Those opportunities, those possibilities, the Hierophant's there to open those doors for us. He's the keeper of keys. And I like this rendition of the Hierophant because he does have the keys in his garments, robes, I guess. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, there were 2 keys at the bottom here. Black Moon Lilith is in Taurus now. Yep. Those opportunities are there. We just need to take that deep breath and jump into the unknown. Now, this is me, guys. I am not saying, hey, let's do a leap of faith. Let's jump in blind. Small, steady steps. When we have that steady progression, we have that stability with our change, with our shifts. We're not afraid or uncertain. We have that very stable foundation. And sure, it might feel like we're, feeling around blindfolded, but we can take that blindfold off, especially as we connect in to our intuitive gifts, those higher senses, if you will. We don't need to understand and see everything. We know we've got that team supporting us. That high vibrational team can see that fuller picture. We can't. Sacred Pool. I love this card. So Sacred Pool talks about that reflection, just like any pool of water. Pull in 10 directions at once. Yeah. So that sacred water, any reflective water or any water will reflect back to you. Sacred water talks about that energy that we put out. Using the law of karma here. What we put out, well, we're going to get back. So if we have fear, uncertainty, we have that kind of agitation, it's going to come back at us. And it's going to cause things to be murky. It's going to cause us to not feel as strong as we are. This is about reinforcing you so that you can work on that growth. Taurus is not saying rip down everything and change everything. It's saying it's time to connect in to the opportunities that are there. It's time to use our skills, use our abilities to our advantage. Like what has already been mentioned, we already have that bull that's ready to go. We need to kind of get in the right direction and use that energy to our advantage. A bull in itself will not charge unless provoked. We need to provoke it a bit. We need to explore these opportunities through a very stable and very grounded manner. The law of attraction, yes, the law of attraction is in play here. It's always in play. And we have many universal laws that we are bound to, and we can use them to our advantage. Again, goes back to all those things that are right at hand. And finally, moonlight, that divine feminine energy. We need to use that again to our advantage. The full pink moon comes in at the end of the month, I think like the 28th, 29th. And it has that very, I guess, abundant, fertile energy with it. Again, that can help empower us. It can help invigorate us to embrace these amazing opportunities. All the wonders that are right there for us. This time is for us. It's just that we get so caught up in the demands and expectations. Of course, we want to balance things out and make sure that everything is cared for and that we are able to meet our physical needs. But we get caught up so easily and fatigued so easily because we're not balancing things out. Taking that time for self really does support you, invigorate you, and kind of give back to you. That's what the moonlight is talking about, is taking just a little bit of time. We don't want to hyper focus in on it because, again, hyper focusing in on stuff, that's an ego-based thing. If we are so focused in on something, we're going to miss out on these opportunities. Giving yourself time here and there to invigorate you, to support you, to care for you. And if all you can think of is to ground yourself, that in itself will support you. Just like if you're doing anything, if you do it for you with the intention that it's going to support you, you're going to get a lot more out of it. Especially if you're doing it in a meditative state, because that meditation not only grounds and centers you, it opens you up to the aha moments that we're looking for, and it opens you up to that healing and nurturing of the high vibrational beings. No matter what team you work with or what your team looks like, they will support you if you should ask. Again, another universal law that we can't break, we have to bring it down. That universal law of free will. The high vibrational beings cannot and will not pass that unless you are at risk of losing your physical life before it's time. Wearing down and burning out, it's not part of that. So we do need to ask. Goes back to that intention. So asking for that help. Before you go to bed, ask for your high vibrational support team to support you, to nurture, to guide you, to heal you. Using showers or bath to your advantage. Set that intention. You're going to clean your body, mind, and soul with that water. And that if any and all high vibrational beings can support you with that for your greater good. Easy to do, and it packs so much more of a punch when you're doing it. You really feel that difference. And if you don't believe me, try it. Open yourself up to that support. So that is what Taurus is encouraging the masses to do. I will now do a reading for my friends who are currently with me. And if you guys have any questions, don't want to tip the cards on the floor. Feel free to ask. But I will check in and see what Taurus wants to share with my friends who are currently with me. Give them a good shake because we're changing my clients, I guess. My questions. Same question, different people. All right. What does Taurus want to share with my friends who are with me now? The Knight of Swords. I love this knight. He is the knight that charges headlong into the storm. He's usually on a galloping white horse, and you can't usually see the tip of his sword. It does talk about that recklessness, and it also talks about the connection to the high vibrational beings. Both of these are going to be needed. Similar to that of the general reading I did, it is a time to push forward. It is a time to use your head and gain as much insight and guidance as you can, because we need to go forward. Now, we don't want to be as reckless as the Knight of Swords. We want to learn from his mistakes, if you will. Similar to that of Taurus, he's charging forward. Bulls don't always know why they're running forward. They see that red cape or flag and charge. We don't want to do that. We need to use our head. We need to use that knowledge, that insight to our advantage. The more information we have at hand, the better our decisions will be. So, the month of Taurus, we want to use that grounded, stable energy of the earth to allow us to connect into that knowledge. We don't want to get caught up in the heartache and pain. We want to be mindful and focused on the information and the information solely. Swords are such a hard suit to connect in with because we are emotional beings. Anytime we have that sword, we have knowledge, which we've learned through usually firsthand experience. So we have that heartache and pain connected in. We need to be mindful of that. We need to, use our head. Critically think about that information and what's holding you back. Like I said, that heartache and pain that we associate with many learning opportunities, it does hold us back. We do have learning opportunities that are connected in with happiness and joy, and they fuel us. They get the knight running as fast as he is. We just need to make sure that we have that balance and that we're using our head. Critical thinking, something that is not, and I know it's currently not being taught in school. When I went to school, it wasn't taught either. You learned, you didn't ask questions. Well, I'm telling you, we need to ask those questions, because without that critical thinking, we are running headlong into the storm. We're not asking the appropriate questions because we're not asking anything. We're just following expectations and demands that have been laid out generation after generation with little thinking on them. So, time to ask those questions, time to get that insight. Let's go into some more insight. What guidance, support, and wisdom does Taurus have to share with my friends who are with me now? This deck still has the new card smell. I love the new card smell. This is why I'm a reader. I love my cards and all that it comes with it. Even when it's the 10 of Wands. We're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, exhausted. We're caught up in that daily grind. No matter what your day looks like, that overpowering energy of, oh, really, I can do this. And you're just trudging forward. We're missing that connection, that understanding. It's time to connect these two cards. If we have a better understanding, we would have an invigoration to get to the other side. We wouldn't get just bogged down by all the crap we're holding on to. We start to lessen that load as we gain a better understanding. So, very important to look at that load, look at what we need to release, look at what is holding us back, and then look at how we can start to release some of this stuff. Because a lot of this stuff, this is emotional. This is that baggage, the heartache and pain that's connected to the swords. Time to start to lessen that a little bit. We don't need to hold on to it. It's not going to help us. It's not serving us. It's causing fatigue, exhaustion, and physical pain. And a lot of times when you're carrying a lot of emotional baggage, those physical pains will really flare up. I've worked with a lot of clients who have been beheaded and end up with really bad neck pain because they've had trauma to their neck. And so when you have that burden, that heaviness, it seems to accumulate there. Or same thing, if people have been stabbed, they get like lots of heartburn. It just depends on what your past experiences have been. But you'll find that pain, it can't be diagnosed by medical. Like if you went to the doctor and said, I have a headache, like I got this neck pain. Sure, go to a chiropractor, and they'll be like, yeah, there's nothing there. It's that emotional center. That's the trauma center you have. And we can have more than one. It's kind of pain. But just be careful of that and be mindful of that. And you'll know it's an energetical pain or like an energetical spot if you release through, say, meditation or some sort of healing, and that pain goes away. The Nine of Pentacles. Such a beautiful card. Of course, we're looking at that abundance. We have lived through quite the lifetime. Does not matter where you are in your journey. We have abundance. Some we acknowledge and a lot we don't. Focusing in on that positive, taking away the power of that pain. With these three cards, if you look at it, the Knight, where is he charging towards? The abundance. He's not coming back here. There's nothing serving him back here. Sure, there's knowledge, which he's carrying forward. And that's what we need to do. That's what Taurus is really encouraging you to do. Take that knowledge and use it to your advantage. Use it to cultivate even more abundance. To have that stability, that beautiful fertility that comes with the Nine of Pentacles. Do you believe in spiritual path working over comes chemical imbalance? It definitely can. I am not a doctor. I encourage my clients never to come off medication if they're working with me. I do encourage them to tell their doctors that they are working with a Reiki master. I have helped clients, teachers of mine, because I have my Reiki master that I worked with. She had a lot of shoulder issues. And I started creating products that were charged with Reiki and essential oils to help people take their healing on their own so that they could heal themselves when they needed. Because a lot of times you can't always find your Reiki master, or it's 2:00 in the morning and you've got this pain. Well, I started working with the high vibrational team that I have, and we created this. Well, one of them I didn't even have a name for. I had it on my counter and I'm like, I don't know what this is. And she was having severe shoulder pains. Like she could barely move her arm. And I'm like, oh, hey, I have something for you. I have to figure out what I'm going to call it, but it's for you. And she was amazed by how it started to release the pain. So yes, energetical work can start to clear up some of that. Chemical imbalances in the brain are similar. I encourage people to Reiki their medication, but work with their medical practitioner, so that they're not so, because you can start to change the actual composition of your medication. Hi, Zia. How are you? Welcome back. I am loving this connection. I was so thrilled because when I got off on Friday, I was like, that's fabulous. This is great. And then I'm like, what am I going to do it next? And of course, my ever loving guardian angel goes, Sunday. I'm like, oh, why? What's Sunday? And he's like, Taurus. I'm like, okay. So I was thrilled because I would have said, if I had thought about it on Friday, hey, I'll be back on live Sunday. Bye. Yeah. So back to the chemical imbalance, absolutely. But you need to be very careful. You don't want to come off medication without doctor support, because there can be other side effects, and that can be even more devastating. So I always talk, and my doctor knows what I do, and she always asks me, have you tried your thing? And I'm like, I've tried my thing and it's not working. So just be open to it for sure, but be mindful that science and spirituality or energetical healing, they're not conflicting. They're more and more starting to mesh together and work better because science is catching up to the woo-woo. Right? For the longest time, yogis were always considered like weird and far out there because they were meditating. They were taking care of themselves. The hell do you need to do that for? Take this pill and you'll be fine. But medicine's catching up to say, actually, look what they're doing. Meditation actually does work. Look, it actually balances the two sides of your brain. Oh my God. So yeah, they were never meant to do this. They were meant to work together. So yeah. All right. Back to this. This is where we want to be. We want to be in the abundance, the joy, and the happiness. We don't want to get caught up back in that pain, that heartache. And if you're finding yourself really stuck here, I have a number of healing meditations that I work with the archangels. Now, I know a lot of people hear the word angel and they start to shut down because of the spiritual abuse. You're talking to a woman who grew up in the Bible Belt and thought for sure I was going to be burned alive as a witch because I like my cards. But as I've gone through and started to work with different modalities, I realized that angels are actually they are mentioned in so many different religions in different ways. they were never meant to be kind of just a symbol of Catholic Christianity. They're beings just like the dragons or the fairies. It's just for some reason they were picked up as a symbol, and it's just like anything else. It can be used to advantage, or it can really come in and cause problems. Lucian, yeah, same. I know, right? Same. It sucks. When I started working with the angels, I didn't know that they were angels. They knew that my guardian angel, I thought for sure was my primary guide, which he is. I won't lie, he's always been there. But he's also highly sarcastic. You'll find that your high vibrational team will pick up the same tendencies you do. I'm highly sarcastic. I have a very dry sense of humor. And yeah, when I said, wait a minute, you're my guardian angel? All I heard was this. Of course, then I started laughing hysterically. Same with the guardian, or same with the archangels. But even if you're struggling with the word archangel, you can still embrace that energy, because that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at praying to them. Actually, I hate that. We're looking at saying, can you please come in and help me? That's what we need. We need that toxicity to come down. And I have a number of them. I've worked with Archangel Metatron, who I have a big crush on. I love him, and he knows it. He was my first true kind of purging, releasing, healing meditation. I've worked since with Archangel Mariel and Archangel Zadkiel on different releasing ones. Simple meditations. The Watchers, yeah. I actually just did another meditation with Archangel Michael on strength. And it's a really neat one because it's an energy kind of bubble that we put over you so that you're not so impacted. I was actually going to do a totally different meditation, and they come in, and usually it's literally as I have my microphone on and I'm like, and here we go. And he's like, yeah, no. At least he gave me more time to prep on that one. Because some sort of energy spike has hit. I know I'm in the western part of Canada. The western part of Canada and the US, I've had a number of clients and myself really be impacted by kind of this, felt like a tidal wave of energy. So yes, he's another watcher. Oh, the Tower, guys. Okay, Tower can be scary. It depends on how much and where we focus our energy on how impactful this will be. The universe is saying, okay, we've had enough stagnation. We have enough yeah buts and what ifs. It is time to get going. The Tower naturally follows with the 10 of Wands. If we embrace the Knight and we're moving ourselves towards this and away from this, the Tower will just inspire us. It'll give us more energy because we're already got that momentum. If we decide to put our head in the sand and say, I can't do this, your butt is in the air, and that's exactly what this is going to hit. So depending on your choices, it will depend on how much this will hurt. I've literally done a day reading. I was working with one of my clients and I thought, I haven't done draw, like just pulling a card every day in a long time. And I got the Tower and I'm like, oh crap. So then I'm like, I got to figure this all out. So I did a full reading on myself and I realized that there was something I was missing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to, embrace that. The Tower hit and I didn't even feel it because I had taken the warning. And that's very much what we can do here. The universe is at a point of getting ready to give us a good push. Well, if we're already moving, it just makes us go faster. You're welcome, Zia. Yes. And I've told this to many clients who get this card. This card was not the first card we pulled, because if it did, you would have a very different reading. You would have a reading of, okay, so we're going to expect a big ass bump. How do we kind of overcome that? Here we have the Knight of Swords. We need to use our critical thinking. We need to ask those questions. We need to get away from this pain, away from this heartache, this heaviness, this blah that we carry, because we all do it. Doesn't matter where you are or how high vibrational you are. We're carrying it. We all are. I have met some ascended masters that have come back and they're still carrying crap. It's not something that we can easily get rid of, especially if we've incarnated a number of times. This is stuff we've been carrying for lifetimes. The universe wants to encourage us forward. We've contracted with the universe that if we should get stuck, please feel free to kick us in the butt. Yeah. I'm excited to see this contract and see exactly what it is, A, I've missed, and B, what the hell was I thinking? Because it's a good card, guys. The Sun. As a Canadian, and if you haven't seen my unboxing of this deck, the lady who made this deck actually lives a couple hours north of me. That moose, sure, A, we can see these walking down the street, and B, it really does bring that sense of joy to me, that happiness. I think the only thing that I would have done differently, she's got some sort of like badger here. I would have put a beaver just because I would have. But that's just me. Like I said, I have a very dry sense of humor. The Sun. Really reinforcing what I just said. This is not all, oh my God, brace for impact. I kept pulling the Tower at this point. I'm just going, so Roberta's just saying she's just ready for the Tower now. Just assume crash position. Is that what you're saying to me? Well, it is very much balanced out by that Sun, because that Sun, oh yeah, no, the Sun, and it doesn't matter which, no, if you're learning tarot, it doesn't matter which way this card comes. This and the Three of Swords are two cards that can pretty much be summed up in a small paragraph. This is happiness. This is joy. This is an amazing card. Like I said here, this card, depending on how much work we're willing to do right here and right now, will depend on how much this hurts. Because there's been times that it can just be a little bit of like a breeze going, keep going, you can do it. And that's very much what this card is saying. The fire element in the lightning is both creation and destruction. Yes. Back in October of 2019, I started saying that this decade was going to be a foundational decade. We were going to really be able to reinforce that foundation, because I'm still hearing 2032, it may be put into 2033, but we're going to see that energetical step up again. We're not prepared for it. Even the highest ranking light workers, we're barely ready for it. The masses need to be. We need to shake free the crap that we don't need and reinforce this foundation so we don't topple, so we don't miss it. 2012 really supported us because that was the last energetical kind of step up. It supported many light workers in shaking free some crap we've been holding on to, but we were able to really kind of connect in and understand. We had a lot of aha come in, and we're going to see that again in 2030. We just need to make sure that we're ready for it. So will you feel this? Possibly. But if you're open to embracing the night, it's not going to be as painful as we fear. And to be honest, when we see this card is telling us change is coming your way. Well, sure, change is coming your way. You embrace the Knight of Swords, and of course it's going to come your way. If you fight it, well, the universe will kick you in the butt and get you rolling, right? So we're not rolling away from something that is helping us. It's hurting us physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Let's get somewhere that isn't. That's full of fun, love, light, and a very happy moose. Because, like I said, I am Canadian and I really enjoy this deck. All right, let's go into some blessings. What blessings can my friends who are with me now embrace to help them work with these energies of Taurus? All right. Now the order may be all jumbled up, but sad embrace. Like I said, this is causing this. It's time to walk away from this. Will we fully get rid of it? No. But we can start to release some of this so it's not so overwhelming. Roberta just said that she's excited for the tower as it's followed by the sun. Yeah. So no matter what the tower shakes free, you know there's regrowth. Regrowth that is meaningful and that is built in high vibration. We're going to get rid of and walk away from this. This is what we're tumbling away from, no matter what the tower and how forceful it is. And like I said, it's not necessarily going to be a severe kick in the bum, especially if we're already questioning and moving ourselves forward. Even at a slow, steady pace, the universe sees it as movement and will reward us. It doesn't want to be a heavy-handed element. It wants to encourage and nurture us. So when we're embracing it, well, you're going to find that not only are things going right and those abundances start to grow, you feel amazing. You're getting rid of this pain. Protected treasures. Like I just said, you hide your head, you stick your bum in the air. When we hide, even in the storm, we're missing and it might be hard to see, there's a beautiful rainbow behind her. We're missing the rainbow. We're missing the beauty and the wonder. If you've never played in the rain, I highly suggest it. I've done it a number of times, and it's really freeing, and it is so much fun to get out and splash in the puddles. Tap into your inner child. I would really encourage you to do it. You're not so kind of tucked in and huddled. You're kind of relaxing things and having fun, because that's part of it too. We're missing that fun. The night always precedes the dark or the day. Yep. We need to enjoy this. We can't always be in fear and pain. We want to enjoy our experience, because that's when we're going to learn the most. Stormfield. We can see the tower. We can see where it's going, because we know what we need to shift. And depending on where we decide to go, either we're going to hit it head on, or we can start to pick up the pieces. And picking up the pieces, I know sounds really hard, but when you're picking up the pieces, it's a lot more fun, because instead of hiding away, you're playing in the rain, you're getting your hands dirty, and you're enjoying the process. Let's be honest. Not only do you feel better, And again, we're getting away from this. We're embracing this. The Knight, again, is charging this way, not this way. The cards come out in a specific way. I just tell you how it is. The high vibrational beings know how I read because they've been doing it with me for 20 years. Stuck in the mud. No longer. The universe is going to make sure that we get unstuck. It's up to us, and this is an important piece. It's up to us to learn what pattern we need to break so that we don't end up back to where we started. Because that's also kind of a human super ability we have. Oh, I'm going to change, and then I'm going to revert because it's scary. That's why slow, steady progression works so much better than leaps of faith. Start out by looking at what you want to release. You know that because it's causing you the pain. That energetical heaviness, those crinks in your neck, the pain in your back. Looking backwards instead of forwards. Not sure what you mean there, Lucian. We need to learn from our past so we can move forward. But we do always need to, it's kind of like when you're driving. You have to shoulder check, make sure it's okay over on this side, and keep your head forward. Or else you start to do the swirl. You're not paying attention to where you're headed. We need to learn from our past and move forward. The universe is going to help us learn to get a ramp here. And we know that because we have the gung-ho Knight. So it's up to us what we learn, and it's up to us how we go forward with it. Without breaking patterns, we are doomed to repeat. That's why I encourage people to make slow progressions. We're going to shift things, shift energies, perspectives, understanding. Step forward. Assess. Again, go through. See how you're feeling. If you charge too fast, too furious, yes, you will get fearful and you will fall behind. You'll go backwards and revert and get stuck again. Really important that we learn and we move ourselves forward in a way that's going to be high vibrational and supportive for us. Everybody has a different tolerance and threshold to how fast they can go. I can guarantee you, your ego is going to tell you it's not fast enough. However, just like anything else, if you've ever watched someone learn to walk after they've had an injury, they're kind of slow and they limp, and they're like, okay, I can go from one, piece of furniture to the next. But before long, they're running down the hallway because they're focusing in, okay, if I go to the chair to the couch, okay, I made it. Oh, I can go to that table. And I'll go down there. Oh, can I go here? We start to get further in a more stable manner. We have those supports. We just need to be open to them. And Taurus, of course, is here to support us. So I encourage you guys, we need to look at some of that healing and that releasing. It's going to help the most right now. And of course, focusing in on that happiness, that joy, and a little bit of fun. It's an easy thing to overlook because Taurus helps us with that stability, and it's going to help us get to where we need to be. I want to thank you guys for joining me live. I will be continuing to do this. My next live session will be on Friday, probably about 1 o'clock. I think it's Mountain Central Time, whatever Edmonton, Alberta is. So I'll be doing that about 1 o'clock, and I will continue to do this same pattern, if you will. So I will do my first reading for people in general, and then I'll do a second reading about 20 to 30 minutes in for the individuals who are with me live. And in the next little while, I'll be also doing my angel reading and the pink full moon as well. You're very welcome, Lucian. I hope it helped. So I hope to see you guys next Friday. And I will post, of course, on Instagram and Facebook as to when I'm going live for sure. Especially, I have to look at when the pink full moon is. It'll be a couple days before. And then I'm going to kind of put in strategically the angel reading as well. You're very welcome, Roberta. I'm glad you didn't miss it either. All right. So I will see you guys hopefully on Friday. If not, you can check out the reading because it will be up right after the live podcast or the live reading is finished. All right. You guys take care and thanks for joining me. Until tomorrow, my friends.